Ever feel like your to-do list is throwing a surprise party and forgot to invite your sanity? Yeah, same. That's where task batching swoops in like a productivity superhero with a calendar cape and a let's get it done attitude. Now, despite the name, task batching doesn't mean speed running your job like a game show contest. It's not about cramming everything together into one chaotic blur. No. It's the art of grouping similar tasks so you can knock them out in one focused swoop, without bouncing between emails, spreadsheets, and mysterious Slack messages from Karen from HR. We love you, Karen, but not during our focus time. The secret sauce? It reduces distractions, gives your brain a break from context switching, and helps you finish tasks faster without looking like you've just gone through 3 rounds with your inbox. It's like meal prepping your workday, but with fewer vegetables and more dopamine. And here's the kicker. Most of us do this accidentally, like answering all your emails back to back or knocking out errands in one afternoon. But when you actually systemize this habit, magic happens. You get more done, feel less overwhelmed, and stop ending every workday wondering what just happened. So in today's episode, we're diving into the what, why, and how of task batching, and why your productivity will thank you, and maybe your coworkers will as well. Rising to be, with new videos and podcasts weekly. Join our Patreon at patreon.com/risingtobe or become a channel member for exclusive videos and more. Visit risingtobe.com for all your planner and stationery needs. Only at risingtobe.com, helping you plan for what's to come. What is task batching anyway? Imagine if your brain had a do not disturb sign. Task batching is how you hang it up proudly. It's the simple but brilliant idea for grouping similar tasks together so your brain isn't constantly doing mental gymnastics. Instead of replying to emails, updating spreadsheets, and ordering birthday balloons for Brenda all at once, you batch them by category. It's like going to the grocery store and shopping by aisle, not sprinting from produce to frozen food to cleaning supplies and then back again. When you're switching your task all day, your brain starts yelling Mayday every time you shift gears. Studies show that bouncing between tasks kills your focus and burns mental energy faster than binge watching 3 seasons of a drama you didn't even like. So instead of multitasking yourself into brain fog, try batching. Write all your emails at once. Then switch to those design edits. So then you can move to panicking about deadlines, reviewing reports. You'll get more done, feel less like you've been hit by a productivity bus, and your future self will give you a high five. Step 1, set your priorities, aka calm the chaos. So you've arrived at your desk armed with caffeine and good intentions. But before you dive into your inbox or accidentally spend 20 minutes organizing your desktop icons, take a breath. It's time to figure out what actually matters today. If you don't have your tasks written down somewhere yet, congratulations, you're just one spilled coffee away from forgetting all of them. Start by listing out everything that's swirling around in your big brain. Big tasks, small tasks, even that weird one you keep putting off that haunts you in your dreams. Then ask yourself, what absolutely must be done today? And what can be given to future you, who ideally has their life together since you finished everything else? Break anything overwhelmingly into bite-sized pieces so it doesn't feel like wrestling an octopus in a hurricane. This step isn't just about being productive, it's about tricking your brain into saying, hey, maybe we can do this. Step 2, sort your tasks into buckets, preferably not leaky ones. Alright, so you've prioritized your chaos, nice work. Now it's time to Marie Kondo those tasks into categories. And no, random stuff I don't want to do is not a category, even if it feels very real to you. Think of this step sort of like sorting out your laundry, but less wrinkly. You want to group similar tasks together so your brain doesn't have to do mental gymnastics by switching gears every 5 minutes. Got a bunch of emails, messages, and pings from every app known to man? Toss them into your messaging bucket. Need to sit in 4 back-to-back meetings where you can say, can you see my screen, a dozen times? That's your meetings bucket. Basically, you're building little islands of focus where similar tasks hang out together. Emails go with, well, emails. Reports go with reports. Brainstorming goes with pacing around your house while holding a mug and staring into the middle distance. Now, however you label them, just make sure it works for you. Bonus points if you give your buckets fun names. The land of overdue emails has a nice ring to it. Step 3, time band a symbol, but be realistic, please. Here comes the spicy part, time bands. Think of them as the concert set list of your day. You need to open strong, mix up the energy, and close without falling asleep on your keyboard. You're going to group similar tasks into chunks of focused time, but with little strategy. For example, sandwich your brain melting deep work between some light admin tasks, like checking emails or pretending to reorganize your folders. But here's the catch. Your brain is a lying little optimist. It'll whisper little lies like, you can totally finish that 20-slide presentation in the next 30 minutes. And next thing you know, it's 3 hours later and you've spent 45 minutes picking a font. That's the planning fallacy in action, a fancy term for humans being adorably delusional about time. So here's the move. Overestimate everything. Seriously, if you think it'll take 30 minutes, then give it 45. If it's a quick call, just block out the afternoon and cancel your lunch. With practice, you'll get better at predicting your actual work pace. But until then, give your future self some breathing room. They're already dealing with your calendar decisions. Step 4, get cracking, like a time-efficient egg. All right, you've done the thinking, the plotting, the noble battle with your calendar, and now it's go time. Dive into those beautifully batched tasks like you're Marie Kondoing your to-do list. Pick a batch, press play, and get cracking. This is the part where you go from I have a plan to I am unstoppable, or at least I am semi-functional and caffeinated. But here's the productivity pro move. Track your time. Yep, don't just wing it and say, that probably took 20 minutes. Spoiler, it took actually 90 minutes. We are humans. We humans are famously bad at guessing how long things take. See assembling IKEA furniture or watching just one more episode on Netflix. So jot down how long each task actually takes you. You don't need to turn into a stopwatch carrying robot, but a little awareness goes such a long way. Future you will thank you for the data when planning out tomorrow. And hey, you might even start seeing patterns. Like, wow, I always underestimate how long it takes me to write emails because I keep rewriting the first 5 sentences. Live, learn, and batch better. Mistakes to avoid, aka how to not self-sabotage while batching. So you've jumped on the task batching train, choo-choo. But before you barrel full speed ahead into Productivityville, let's hit the brakes and talk about some common potholes you might want to steer around. Because nothing ruins your flow like accidentally batching your brain into a meltdown. Mistake number 1, analysis paralysis. The thinking spiral of doom. Planning is great. Over-planning is Netflix surfing while holding a planner you never use. If you find yourself staring at your color-coded digital calendar for 30 minutes without actually doing anything, congrats. You got analysis paralysis. It's the productivity version of being stuck in molasses. Now here is the fix. Schedule your planning time like it's a meeting with Beyonce. Make it the first task you check off every day, even if all you do was write, plan stuff, and put a star next to it. Keep it short. Use bullet points, cave drawings, whatever works for you. The goal is to move from thinking about doing stuff to doing stuff faster than your coffee gets cold. Mistake number 2, batching what shouldn't be batched. Spoiler alert, not everything likes to be batched. Some tasks are lone wolves and should be treated accordingly. Just because 2 things seem alike, like writing an article and writing a 20-page grant proposal, doesn't mean your brain wants to tackle them together. Think of it like Thanksgiving dinner. Sure, cranberry sauce and turkey go great on a plate, but cranberry sauce and lasagna, that's a no from your brain. If a task feels like a boss fight from a video game, mentally intense, full of rules, and likely to result in yelling, then give it its own time slot. No batch, no distractions, just you and the beast. And maybe a snack break afterward. Task batching tips and tricks, aka how to batch like a boss. So you've decided to batch your way to productivity glory. Nice. But before you dive in like it's an Olympic sport, here are some insider tips that'll help you stay on track without spontaneously combusting from calendar chaos. Block it or forget it. Put your task batches on your calendar like they're sacred appointments with Beyonce. Because if it's not scheduled, it's not happening. Want extra protection from chatty coworkers or quick questions? Color code your calendar like it's an adult coloring book. Red equals I'm in the zone. Disturb me and you better be on fire. Also, silence those notifications. Yes, even your Slack. Your brain deserves peace, not pings. Break down the beast. A big, vague task is like being told just build a house without blueprints. Cue procrastination panic. Break massive jobs into bite-sized mini missions. Not only will it feel less scary, but you'll also have more tiny victories to celebrate, like crossing off make slide deck title page, and feeling like a productivity god. Take breaks like a human. Plot twist, you're not a robot. Studies show most humans tap out after 15 to 20 minutes of laser focus. So build your breaks into your batch schedule. Stretch, breathe, scroll guilt-free. Sandwich a brainless task like filing or pretending to file between two thinking heavy ones. It's not laziness, it's science. Reward thyself. Fact, your brain loves a good bribe. Use this knowledge for good. Finish a batch of emails, boom, a cookie. Survive 3 meetings in a row, you've earned that dance break or 10 minutes of guilt-free TikTok. Small rewards equal big motivation. You're basically training yourself like a golden retriever. And well, it works. Leave wiggle room, aka emergency snack time. We assume we'll write that report in an hour. Reality, 3 hours and a breakdown later, we're halfway done. So always add padding to your time estimates. It keeps you from spiraling when a surprise meeting lands in your lap or when the printer decides it has its feelings. Don't be a hero, outsource it. Listen, Superman didn't do his own laundry. You don't need to either. If a task is sucking the soul out of you, or even taking 2 hours when someone else could do it in only 10 minutes, delegate it. Outsourcing isn't giving up, it's leveling up. You're creating space to focus on what actually matters. Go forth and delegate like royalty. Use a task manager so your brain doesn't explode. Task batching is cool. Task batching with a digital sidekick, way cooler. Tools like Notion, Trello, or even your favorite AI calendar buddy can help you automate the chaos. No more juggling sticky notes and calendar invites like you're auditioning for a circus. Try the Pomodoro technique. Yes, it's named after a tomato. And I also covered it in a past video, and I'll link that down below for you. If you've got the attention span of a caffeinated squirrel, the Pomodoro method might be your jam. Work for 25 minutes, then take a 5-minute break. Do this a few times, then reward yourself with a longer break. It's productivity meets snack breaks, and honestly, what's not to love? The ones who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do. Steve Jobs. I just want to take a quick moment to thank our patrons and channel members. This episode would not be possible without your support. Thank you. And if you would like to support the show, visit patreon.com/risingtobee or become a channel member today. Thanks again for stopping by and pressing play. I truly appreciate it. Let me know down below in the comments or in your podcast review what tip you'll be using. Keep planning for what's to come, and I'll see you in the next episode.